A legal battle over Marsy's law and if it can be used to protect law enforcement officers could go before the Florida Supreme Court. Florida's High Court could have the final say on releasing Tallahassee officer names in connection to 3 deadly shootings. ABC 27's Jada Williams joins us live from the Florida Supreme Court right now. Jada, this all goes back to last July, with the City of Tallahassee's attorneys saying they want the Supreme Court to review the case. If it does, where do we go from here?
Well, Channing, the city has to formally issue that appeal to the Florida Supreme Court, and they have until May 6th to do so. Now, once that happens, if the court does decide to take up the case, it could take up to a year before a decision is made. Does an on-duty officer get the same protections as victims under Florida's Marsy's law? That's the question the City of Tallahassee hopes to have the Supreme Court of Florida answer.
The First District Court of Appeals ruled on April 6th that police officers, when acting within the scope of their employment or when they are performing their public duties, are covered by or receive the protections of Marsy's law.
That ruling followed a trial court's decision in July of 2020 that officers were not protected under the law. The city is now pushing back.
The City of Tallahassee, recognizing that this is a question of great public importance to the citizens, not only of the City of Tallahassee, but of the state of Florida, have decided to seek review before the Florida Supreme Court.
The Florida Police Benevolent Association took legal action against the city to protect officers involved in 3 deadly shootings in 2020. All of those officers were later cleared by a grand jury.
If it goes to the Supreme Court, then that's a big deal.
Don Pumphrey is a criminal defense attorney in Tallahassee. He says what happens in this case will set the precedent for how the law is used moving forward.
We live in the Sunshine State where government in the sunshine. And I also understand there are issues with releasing law enforcement names.
The Police Benevolent Association says one of those issues, putting those officers' safety at risk. The city now has until May 6th to submit the appeal. Once it's received, both sides must submit documents explaining the impact this case could have on the entire state. The Supreme Court will use that information to determine if it will hear the case. Now, we should know if the Florida Supreme Court will hear that case or not by late summer. If it does decide to hear the case, well, it could take up to a year before we hear a decision from that Supreme Court. We did reach out to the PBA for comment. We have not heard back. In Tallahassee, Jada Williams, ABC 27.
All right, thank you, Jada. And taking a closer look at Marsy's law, it was passed by Florida voters back in 2018. It provides victims certain rights, such as the right to be treated with fairness and respect, and the right within the judicial process to be reasonably protected from the accused, and the right to have the safety and welfare of the victim's family considered when setting bail. When the appeals court ruled in favor of PPA, we did reach out to Marsy's Law of Florida about how the law was being used. Their statement to us read in part, quote, "The First District Court of Appeals has made its ruling and we respect the will of the court," end quote.